But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series. I'm here to spill the real tea.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my videos. Yes, that was a very prolonged hi. So yes, I haven't made a video in a very long time. Well, in a little bit. Still settling into the new place. Obviously, I'm organizing my own personal life at the same time. You know, the fact that I have a job and all that, you know, all that jazz, you know, all that etc. and everything. But yeah, I thought today, you know, while I've got the time, I'd hop on and make a video for you guys. And today, we're looking at the top 10 dark things people did in mental asylums. Yes, we're doing a top 10 video, of course. Yes, so today we're looking at top 10 things people did in mental asylums. If you don't know what a mental asylum is, it's essentially a place where they send you if you're a bit, you know, you got a bit of a lot going on up here that people think is crazy. If you're labeled as crazy or mentally unstable, you were sent here. Yes. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video, shall we?
Starting off this countdown, we have the Incisions. Here's your final warning. If you're eating anything right now, I suggest you stop. So,
it's a good warning. I like that. Thank you. Also, I like your hair as well. Your hair is quite nice.
this story comes from someone that worked at a mental hospital for about 5 years. The scariest incident that she ever encountered was with a patient that had to have surgery to remove an object that she swallowed. After her surgery, she heard a nurse scream for help. She ran into the patient's room and saw that she had opened up her incisions that were stapled shut, and she was holding part of her intestines in her hands. The patient was covered in blood. Shortly after the incident, the nurse quit. As would I. That is scarring. Also, in Canada, we say intestines. I know a lot of people called me out saying it's intestines.
We're not even that far into it. We're the first one in the video, and I'm already going, Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. That would hurt too, but like obviously like some people with like mental conditions, they don't feel pain, or they do something to feel something or to feel pain. But wow, okay.
In Canada, we say large and small intestines, so fun fact, there you go. Moving on to number 9, we have the thumbs. And if you guys are liking this video, then why don't you give it a big thumbs up? So this next nurse was working when a man was brought in for assessment. Apparently, the man was super big and tough looking. He kept his head down and didn't say a word. He was handcuffed and he had 2 officers standing by his side. All of a sudden, the man breaks out of his handcuffs and makes a run for it down the hall towards the exit. Thankfully, the police caught up to him and tackled him to the floor, and was baffled by the fact that he somehow managed to slip the handcuffs off of his hands. But that's when she noticed something weird about this guy's hands. Upon closer inspection, she saw that the guy didn't have his thumbs. Even the ball socket that attaches the thumb to his palm was removed. He didn't.
Why? Just what? Was he born without thumbs, or just like were they removed? I have so many questions. Let's hope they have answers.
Did it himself so that he could easily slip out of police handcuffs.
Imagine removing your thumbs, right? Your thumbs, you know, your little, yeah, these thingy bobbies, you know, these cool things, yeah. You can't even play Thumb Wars anymore because you want to get out of police handcuffs. Learn how to pick a lock. It's so much less painful, and it doesn't involve you losing your thumbs. Jesus.
First of all, how didn't the officers see that when they put the handcuffs on him in the first place? Second, ow. In our 8th spot, we have the attacks. So this next individual worked at a hospital for kids that have gone through traumatic experiences and had to be removed from their homes. This hospital was a bit different. The kids lived in like dorm type rooms. Now there was one young girl that had a hate-on for her nurse. She would do whatever she could to try and hurt her. One time the nurse entered her room and the girl was missing. She then went to check her closet, and when she did, the girl launched at her from the top shelf of the closet and started clawing at her eyes and hitting her. Needless to say, after that incident, she got a new nurse, and her old nurse was kept as far away from her as possible. In our 7th spot, we have the trauma.
Am I the only one that thinks that maybe the kid has a hatred for this nurse because this nurse has done something bad to her, maybe? Like, or reminds her of someone from her past, maybe? Because, like, traumatic experiences fuck with the mind, bro. Like, maybe, like, she thinks that they're gonna hurt her because someone in her past that looked like her did. Or maybe that person has actually hurt her and she's just lashing out because of trauma-related things and she doesn't want to get hurt again. Who knows? Who knows what's happened? But that's freaky. That's freaky.
It's sad, but a lot of patients in mental hospitals are just victims of trauma. Maybe they witnessed something at a young age and that scarred them for life. That's the case for this next patient. So the patient was a young kid that had dissociative identity disorder. At times, he would just zone out and start screaming, begging his mom to stop hitting him. Like, that is so sad and dark. But good news, on multiple occasions, the boy has said that he finally feels safe now. Even if he still has moments where he remembers his past trauma, it's good that he finally feels safe. Making our way down the list.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, the fact that, like, he went from such a dark place and learned how to control the darkness, I guess, and not let it control him. That's, you know, and now he's in a, like, slightly better place. That's awesome. I like that. That one's a kind of happy one. That ends kind of happily. I like that one.
The number 6, we have the dolls. So
I can already tell I'm not gonna like this one because it's dolls and those things are fucking creepy. as I say, those dolls are creepy. I collect skull things. I've just realized I'm probably creepier. Anyway.
This patient was a very old lady that would always carry around a doll with her. She was convinced that this doll was legit her baby and that she had given birth to her.
It isn't that strange. I've heard it happen before because people, like, maybe that have suffered from a miscarriage or something don't register it, or they try to zone it out and pretend it didn't happen, so they use dolls to pretend as if, you know, they actually ended up having their child. Or they have, like, a stillbirth or something. In some cases the mother does that to, I don't know, because the trauma just tells them that's what it is. Their brain shuts it out and tries not to think about it, so it does that. It's actually quite sad. It's very sad.
She would even talk in great detail about her pregnancy with this doll baby child thing. Well, one night the nurse tucked her in and forgot to tuck in her baby. So she reached to go get the baby, and this woman freaked out and just punched her straight in the throat. She then started screaming and yelling about how she was driving too fast and how she destroyed everything that she loved.
Okay, judging by that, like that clip I just heard, maybe the woman had a baby and she drove too fast in the car one day, maybe, and ended up getting in a car crash, resulting in the death of her child, maybe, because that would be a traumatic experience that might lead to something like that as well. But wow, this one's actually really sad. I feel really bad for this lady. Granted, she didn't need to punch the woman in the throat, but, like, you know, trauma trauma sometimes does that to you. Just kind of makes you, like, forget that person is not the person you think it is, and yeah.
Well, turns out that this woman did have a baby once upon a time. However, the baby and her husband both passed away in a car accident. That is so...
Wow. I actually... Wow, I shouldn't be laughing I should be laughing right now, but wow, I guessed that to a T. Wow. Wow. Okay, I guessed that to a T. Jesus.
So sad. I feel so bad for this poor woman. She was so traumatized by an accident, and that's why she's so overprotective of this doll. She pretends like it's her real-life daughter. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the broomstick. This next worker had a patient that stabbed himself with the metal jagged end of a broomstick. He shoved it so hard in his stomach that it actually snapped inside of him. And when that happened, he started screaming and digging into his stomach with his fingers to try and get it out. I don't know how the workers there do it. Like, I feel like if I witnessed that, I would have just passed right out. Coming in at number 4, we have the snakes. This next patient would always talk about the snakes in his room. He was truly convinced that snakes were living in his ceiling and would slither out and attack him. He also kept saying that the snakes would bite him. Every day he would have more and more snake bites on his body. Well, turns out that he was inflicting these wounds on himself. He would pinch and twist his skin until there were small bloody holes in his skin. But he wasn't even aware that he was doing this to himself. He was fully convinced that snakes were biting him. In our 3rd spot, we have the bad habits. This next patient had a habit of taking hand sanitizer and squirting it directly into her eyes. And
I'm gonna cut that one off mid-sentence because... Oh, that... No. Back, fell demon. Back. Jesus Christ! That's like, wow, okay. That's a lot. And she was about to continue the sentence, which means she was putting hand sanitizer somewhere else. What the fuck? Where else is this woman putting hand sanitizer? I would love to know.
And wounds. Okay.
In her wounds? That shit would hurt. Like, I've done it for, like, cuts and things, but, like, in your wounds, bro? Like, that shit hurts. I'm very much aware that shit hurts.
Okay, I've never had hand sanitizer in my eyes, thankfully, but I've gotten it on a tiny paper cut, and it burns! So imagine what that would feel like in your eyes. The pain would be 1,000 times worse. But this isn't the only thing the patient would do. She also likes to eat tissues. She just pulls tissues out of the box one by one and eats them.
One, that photo was creepy. The one I just paused on, oh my god. But, like, I've actually... I mean, it's not that weird. I mean, I knew someone in school that used to eat paper. So this is nothing. This is nothing to me.
As a result, nurses... Oh, my teeth hurt just thinking about it. You know when people rub cotton balls together? Oh, sorry. Okay. As a result, nurses have to keep sanitizers and tissues away from her at all costs. Ugh. In our 2nd spot, we have the prediction. So this story comes from a nurse who worked with a patient that had schizophrenia. One day while she was with the patient, she turned to her and said, "Oh, how wonderful, you're expecting a baby boy." The woman was taken back because she wasn't pregnant, or at least she didn't think she was. But turns out she was pregnant, and the patient was right, which is very creepy. I mean, how did the patient even know that? Then when she got her ultrasound done, she found out indeed she was having a baby boy. So the patient got 2 things right. Now, here's where it gets dark.
Oh, no.
Towards her end of the pregnancy, she was...
I know what's gonna happen. I think I know what's gonna happen. I think the patient is gonna say, "Oh, I'm very sorry for your loss of like losing the child," and she's gonna find out she's lost the child. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think I am right though, and if I'm right, that's so fucking dark.
Was still working at the hospital. One day, the patient turns to her and says, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear about your baby."
I swear I have not seen this. Hand on my heart, swear I have not seen this. Wow. How do I keep guessing these?
The nurse asks her what she means, and she says that her baby isn't gonna make it. And the woman was right again. The nurse suffered complications with her delivery and the baby didn't make it. So this woman is psychic or something. Like, how did she know that? That's so creepy. And in our number 1 spot, we have the fingers.
Please tell me this is not about eating. Like, eating them. Like Hannibal fucking Lecter style.
One day, a nurse was making her rounds on the floor when she heard a patient laughing hysterically in his room. When she went to go check on him, she found him sitting in the middle of his room, holding his hand to the sky. It was covered in blood. Turns out that this patient had eaten 4 of his fingers.
How do I keep guessing these? But wow, that's fucked up. How do I keep guessing this though? That's concerning.
The worst part, when nurses rushed in to help, he said, "My fingers crunch exactly like baby carrots." Great. So, I'm never eating carrots ever again. Starting off this countdown, we have the teeth. The first patient on this list did something so gruesome to herself that...
Wait. Didn't we just watch that? Okay, yep. I'm working this out now.
You may just want to stop eating for a second while I tell the story. So, according to the nurse that shared this story, this patient was known for inflicting harm on herself. She was known to rip out all of her hair till there was none left on her head or body.
Nope. Nope. That's where I will end this. Cause, nope. Women pulling out hair like a head. Nope. Scalping yourself. Fuck no. That's where I draw the fucking line. So, yes, my video today is all over. Love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. It'll be really soon, I promise. I really hope it's really soon. But I promise I will get one out to you very shortly. Love you guys. Bye.